Peace and blessings, everybody. Shout it out. Hoping to be locked in. Maybe we'll be getting locked in on purpose, locked in on faith, locked in on business, locked in on just handling business, period. You already know, told y'all, man, Tuesday we was going to be bringing y'all the real welfare check and unity in motion. All right. And we have my partner in crime, Queen of Money Magnet.
We on Can you
Yeah,
hear
there
me?
you go. Yeah, I can hear
Hey,
you.
what's up? What's up? What's up? How you doing? How's everybody doing today? I'm excited to be here tonight. Second time. Okay.
Yeah. So it's crazy. The first time we had there was a lot of questions afterward, a lot of things I would discuss afterwards. And the brothers enjoyed it. Just the fact of being able, not just touching on subjects and topics, but being able to have a female up here actually expressing and sharing their particular story.
Mm-hmm.
Big thing is though, we're looking to do more than just share stories. We're looking to create stories. Looking
Right.
to help people create their own stories. Um, so normally, with regular welfare check, usually you set it off, right?
Yeah, yeah. So basically, just to introduce everybody to what the real welfare check is and the unity in motion, guys, we are coming here. We are embracing one another. We are finding and talking about it and discussing alternative ways to deal with stress, overcoming obstacles, the our lifestyles, the things we've been through. Letting people know, everybody's be on a journey. Everything that looks gold, everything that glitter ain't gold. That's what it is. Everything that glitter ain't gold. And a lot of us have been through traumatic experiences. I know I've been through a lot of traumatic experiences, still going through traumatic experiences, and we got to talk about it. We got to let it out. We got to. They say our community don't go to counseling. We don't go to therapy. We don't talk about stuff. It's always men versus women versus. Let's come on these calls. Let's talk about it. Let's see how we can find alternative ways to deal with whatever it is that we're dealing with. So if you're tuning in and you're dealing with something, are they allowed to request to come up?
Yeah. They
Okay.
actually can, but we can see their messages in their chat, so we can actually direct us. Our five people just came in just now, but we usually, converse back and forth with them a bit and see where they're going. Like I actually try to put the link inside the chat so we can actually bring people up.
Yeah, so welcome to that. Like I said, we go over these different ways. So I recently started working in the Clayton County area, where I made a post inside the group and I asked, I said, if you were in front of your commissioner right now, what would you say to them? What would you want to be changed in the community? And the post went kind of viral. A lot of people in different Clayton County groups came on there and they started talking about what they needed. So I decided that I would take a leadership role and just go forward and say, hey, well, everybody that want to make a change, let's get together. Let's set a date where we're gonna meet in person. We're gonna put these things, these workshops. We're gonna reach out to the community. We're gonna do what we need to do, whether the community commissioners want to help or not. So what I noticed was different backgrounds.
Yeah.
People come from so many different backgrounds and they have so many different experiences that it's kind of hard for people to relate to other people and what they're going through. And it kind sometimes it holds a barrier moving forward when you're trying to work with people. So tonight I want to touch on understanding and respecting different perceptions
Mm,
because that's been heavy on me this week. And people really, myself included, sometimes it's like you got to really understand that we're seeing this in our lens. Everything that's happening is our lens. So if someone else has a different projection, or if someone else is having, they seeing something different, their experience is different. How it hits them is different. So we got to get past being selfish and thinking about our own selves when it comes to how they may have received what we put out there.
So
because it can hurt.
the my it was two. It's crazy because it's two things that you mentioned that I wanted to touch on. The first, when you started speaking just about the commissioner, really people understanding that part, right? Um, and you say Clinton County, whatever, she's speaking about Georgia. To those that's watching, don't know Clinton County down in Georgia, right? But when we're speaking about doing things in your neighborhood, it's actually knowing the people that's actually moving. Which one of them usually be a commissioner? Some areas be a like council person. Some areas it'd be like your borough president, whatever. So every so often, every so often they get together, right, and go over budgets, go over money and financial stuff for that particular neighborhood, right? And a lot of
Hmm.
times, money comes in for them to divvy out to businesses in the neighborhood or programs, whatever. So now, if we're not available or if we ain't paying attention to what's going on, we actually will lose out um, on the money that they do that they are supposed to give to businesses in that neighborhood and programs that they are supposed to start up or are looking to start up because they may not even know what they want. I mean, unless usually present it, but the money is there for them. So actually going to them, having a representative. If you don't want to do it yourself, you can have a representative. Salute. Actually going to these people to present, all right, this is what we need in our neighborhood. Um, crime is going up. This is happening. We need, say after school program or financial literacy program or health program, right? Whatever type of program that you know that you feel is needed in your specific neighborhood, you can actually go there and present it to them. And when you do that, more than likely you'll have a better chance of actually getting that. Now, what are some? I was going to ask you that too. What are some of the requirements if a person wants to do that? What are some of the requirements that they need to actually present to them?
To put it on the agenda. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. So yeah, you just have to apply early and register to be put on the agenda for the next meeting. But what I recommend and what I've noticed over just doing the data research and looking at the charts is that if you when you come to them, you have to come to them speaking the language that they speak and understand with presentations, with breakdowns, with data, with analytics, with knowing the projections and knowing your demographic and knowing how you're going to market it and knowing your return overall, your rate of return and how you're going to be beneficial in the community as a whole. No matter what kind of business you have, no matter what problem you have to come prepared with data because that's what they're coming with. And sometimes people can make bad investments. And I wouldn't call them bad investments. I'll just say lessons because things can happen. But when you're looking at your commissioners and you're looking at these different people and you're like, I just want this to happen. I just want this to happen, but you don't have a plan. You're just complaining. You're just like, well, we need the trash picked up. Okay, well,
There's an actual step by step way that you can go about
yeah, yeah, there's a step by step way, and that way is going with the real factual data with a real business plan. And it has to last for more than just that year. Like you want to plan for 5 to 10 years to 20 years. Like the longer that you can show your county that what you're working on or your suggestion makes sense financially for the growth and development of their community long term, then they can take you seriously. But when you just go with the complaining and going with the list and going with the questions over and over, it's just like, okay, they gotta, when it happens, it happens. They got to work on it. But they got to, you came with the complaint. Now people got to sit around and take your complaint, break it down, and figure out how to fix what you complained about instead of us fixing what we complaining about, which is what I feel like is the reason why most communities are failing because there's no real community involvement. There's no talking to each other. There's no educating each other. There's no holding each other accountable for our actions.
yeah.
Back, years and years and years ago, your entire neighborhood, your entire community knew each other. They were helping each other. They warned each other. It was neighborhood watch without neighborhood watch for us. And what was we didn't have to make a plan on that. It was just like, this is your mama friend, this your grandma friend, this person, no, this person, don't do that. So we were controlled, and if you want to call it in comparison, we were policed by the community. There was levels of respect, there was levels of understanding, because we can't expect these people to have respect when they don't understand what they're respecting.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Now it's crazy because now while you were speaking, I was tying that into perception. So like that actually plays a part in to the perception. So now if you're seeing things in your neighborhood, instead of looking at it from a problematic standpoint, you should be looking solution based. Right? Instead of you viewing, oh man, this is happening, oh what they doing. I was like, nah, hold up. How can we fix this?
Yes,
How can we come together to actually change these conditions, right? And this is what we're talking about here when she was just spoken about, perception, how we actually view things instead of viewing it from a problematic standpoint or a negative standpoint and being more solution based. So it's like, all right, who's in control of this? Like you use trash for instance. All right, who's in control of the trash thing? All right, how can we make sure that this stuff gets picked up? Is something. All right, let me make a phone call. All right, we don't found that out. All right, we have these other people that we may utilize, and this is something that we don't do. The people around us, right? Because I'm quite sure is we have these resources around us that are untapped, right? And we may go to, listen, I want to present this to the community board. Who handles this stuff in the community? Because I want to present this, like you said, present this complaint to them. But I don't just want to complain. I want to give a solution. So it's like, all right, here's a complaint, but we have this. I got 5, 6 people of my own, right? That we can actually go help and get the trash and bring it up ourselves to actually change things, right? Oh, one of my brothers just tapped in too. Let me see where he at.
I can even give you one better. If the smaller businesses that's been in business long enough in the qualifying field can go out and get the contracts that their local government is giving out. Like they're literally giving these contracts for trash pickup, security, building playgrounds and buildings, cleaning the neighborhoods, fixing the cracks and holes. They have contracts for that, but nobody is qualifying for those contracts that's within the community. So what happens is other people are getting those contracts, and then they're not doing the job like they should be doing the job because they're not taking it seriously. They're getting the money, and then they do it when they do it because nobody's holding them accountable because everybody's so busy. But if the community started holding them accountable, like how Clayton County now has an app called Click Clayton, and if you post it, it tell you what time it got posted. It tell you what's going on. So somebody's being held accountable. But these bigger companies got to go after the contracts because they qualify, while the smaller companies get into the position to then qualify, and they start subcontracting with them. They saying, oh, well, it's an area over here. If I just got 10, $15 million to pick up trash, and it's really not going to take me nothing but maybe $5 million to operate the whole thing. It's no reason that as a big trash company, I wouldn't think, and this is what I would make a requirement if I was in position. This is what I would do. I would say you have to set aside a certain reserve funds for small businesses to take on those subcontracts, those smaller cars. You are responsible for picking up the trash every day, the big trash, and then if there's random calls, you have local business owners that do that particular job. You subcontract them. They put money in their pockets. And now they can get prepared to be able to get their own contract.
It's crazy because I now when you saying that, I was just thinking about what I learned, and this is just something for the people. You know what I mean? When you had went to the meeting, but you had sent me some of the papers, right? Because you said you had to look through their paperwork and their finances and where the actual money was going. So I had the opportunity to actually see these paperwork. So when I looked at it, one of the things I noticed was funny, like because you had noticed that already, but one of the things that I noticed was that the money that the county or city, whatever, was getting for programs and jobs and stuff inside the
Mhm.
neighborhood, they all was being outsourced. It was like given to businesses that wasn't not even just in the city, but businesses that wasn't even in the state.
Not even in the state,
Right?
right,
It wasn't
right.
even in the
But
state.
you
And
realize why though, right?
yeah, yeah, like they knew what was happening. They knew where the money was coming from. They knew how to actually set themselves up in a way to actually get it and presented it because they seen in that particular county, ain't nobody going for that money. Ain't nobody presenting their businesses to
Right,
them. Ain't nobody got the paperwork right to do it. So you had instances where I seen in there, it was like a business that was just formed. They had just had a DBA. It was like, oh, DBA, like they just formed it just to get that money that they was getting
right,
from
because they knew exactly
county.
what paperwork to do, what to file, and that's the thing. Small businesses, minority businesses, um, women-owned businesses, uh, veteran businesses. We don't go after the proper certifications, and we end up with more trauma of struggling of, oh, I'm a serial entrepreneur, when in reality a serial entrepreneur is nothing just but self-employed. You still on the same tax roll payroll as an employee. You paying more, you're giving all your time, you're working. There's still no freedom in being a serial entrepreneur.
So you said they wasn't doing it properly, or they were oh, what is the proper methods though?
I honestly, it's
I
I
mean
can't just like
certification.
list
Yeah,
them down, but there's
you said
like
certification.
registering your
What?
business properly, making sure you have
Yeah,
a brick and mortar, making sure that you have um registered with the right not EINs and SAM codes, and um of course building credit with Duns, other places like NAV. Then filling out the application. You're gonna need financial statements, tax records. Um, honestly, there's a lot. Like there's a long list. Like that's
yeah.
what it
'Cause
is. It's so much.
that's what I actually wanted to do because a lot of people that tune into the channel actually like even me. You know what I mean? Like at one particular time, just like they saying that, but how do I actually do it? How do I actually go
Well,
about it?
see, I'm gonna be honest. It's such a process that it's like you could drop somebody. I could drop like a how to step by step. I think that's already on the website. But
Yeah,
going through the process and getting the paperwork and having these financial statements and having these business plans and registering your NASAs properly, like it's not something that you can really like. That's a webinar. That's a class. That's a workshop. You know what I'm saying? It's not more of a conversation that you will have like just right off the bat.
yeah. I just wanted to
You
give them
can't
just I
list
just wanted to give them a little
everything,
bit
but
like I
I've
feel like
listed a
like
lot of
some of the
things that
first
people forget.
like some of the first things do because somebody had put something in there. Somebody had asked like they want a program that take youth on trips with adults, strictly trips. The youth just need to see it more than just the communities and country, right?
Mm.
So it was just like a simple thing like that, like giving a person basic steps. For one, like what I would say, is knowing your purpose, right? And you say you want to do that, but now how to actually articulate it in a business form because they say, all right, what type of program is this? What business structure do this fall under? So if you say you get in a particular nonprofit and you want to do a nonprofit, all right, how which kind because there are numerous nonprofits right that cater to specific services so you would have to actually identify that once you've identified that you know that you got your mission statement you got your purpose now actually finding a name you got your joint find a name look for a dope name come up with something search it make sure you have it make sure it's available for you to actually for you to actually use um
Absolutely.
like after that, you look to uh, going into filing, going to actually filing it with whatever county or whatever you're going to file it with. But in doing a nonprofit, you got to make sure you have your constitution and bylaws in order. At least 3 officers, at least 3 people with you. You got to make sure you have in order. Um, a business address, like you like to tell me, a real address, not just a real address.
Yeah, because
House.
like if you don't, and see that's the thing. That's why it's hard with just listing and stuff because you could list the stuff, but people fail at not understanding why on most of the times. Like that's why it's good for people to get mentors. That's why it's good for people to get educators and CPAs so that they can understand what is best for their this what their what is their goal before even putting together a business plan, before even putting together a nonprofit organization, before doing any of those things. It's like we have to understand what their goal is to even give them the steps. Because yeah, there's a basic foundation outline, but and then what? You know what I'm saying? Because people can say, "Oh, I got all of these qualifications. I got my certification," and then they go after this $50 million loan. I mean, contract. Let's just say they get the contract, but in reality, they've never done a job like this. They never got the projection, the project done like this before. So now they kind of stepped into something that wasn't really they weren't ready for, and that's how they fail again. Over the time of being a mindset development coach and income acceleration coach, I've learned that if you skip the parts of where people are fixing the way that they think and setting their goals and then setting the plan for that, no matter how many times you give them step by step by step on what to do, they're going to fail until they get their mind right on why they're doing what they do. Once they get the why, then they'll work different. And it won't even be hard because like I said, the best thing that you want to do when you're starting a business is collaborating with other businesses and that's already doing what you want to do. The hard work is done when you go out and you go out and you help other businesses that's doing what you're doing. So with when I wanted to feed the homeless, I started off going to Hosea Feed the Homeless and all these other places that were feeding the homeless because I got used to it. I didn't have to pack the food. You know, it's different saying, "Oh, I want to go feed the homeless." Thing you got to go buy all the food. You got to get the people to come out. You got to pull up. You got to pass it out. It might be gone quick, or you gonna get attacked. You don't. You got to. People don't think about that when they say, "Oh, I want to go feed the homeless." What if you didn't bring enough food? But when you go and you help other people that are already doing it, now you're not responsible for that, but you're getting the experience and you're learning from what they're going through. So when you actually go out and do what you need to do or do what you want to do, you have that experience, you have those connections, and now you have the support, and you don't have to struggle the way that that that, that other
Yeah,
people have to struggle. Yeah, and I like what Josh said. Josh, that's why I use my own money to start a program, then talk business after the results are proven. And that is the number one way to get these people money. That's the number one way. You literally have to show them results of what you're doing. And then they'll make it rain. They want to give you the money. They want to, but it has to show that it's worth it. And you got to take that sacrifice to make it happen. Whether you go out and you get some investors or you get some sponsorships or whatever you do it yourself first, and then go out and then show them.
yeah, yeah. And I got to introduce my boy, man, Wilton Joseph, man, out of CT. He has a program, numerous programs. Queen, I don't think, no, I've been wanting y'all to meet up, right? This is the part I've been working with, though, Joe, down here. But tell them who you are, bro. Tell them who you are, what you're doing, your mission, where you at right now.
Hey, Queen, how you doing? We supposed to meet a long time ago.
Listen,
We never got a chance to really meet, but it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm always in
man.
Atlanta all the time. I'm gonna try to make it short because I do so much, but in all retrospect, I'm doing God's work and following God's lead, and I just think that we all have a purpose here um, in this world that we're living in until we make it up to him. But that being said, I streamline and use basketball as a tool to highlight and bring mental health, gun violence, and financial literacy and anti-bullying to the forefront of what's impacting our youth. So I run various mentoring programs, basketball events that highlight these issues. I have a nonprofit called Hoops for All, I do various fundraising events to fund my own nonprofit. I fund my nonprofit by receiving not too many grants, but small donations from businesses in the area, as well as I have a clothing line that brings awareness to gun violence, $1 Million Smile, and the honor of my brother, who you see on my chest now. He was murdered in 2017. So I came up with a creative way to keep his legacy alive, but also keep the conversation going by um, creating a brand where people like wearing clothes, but if you're wearing a clothes, you're an ambassador, but it also makes you feel like you are representing something that could start a dialogue and conversation. And everybody likes nice clothes and drip, but when you're wearing something that has a tagline behind it, and our tagline is "No More Silence and Gun Violence," and throughout the whole thing of doing the work that I've been doing for years, I became a motivational speaker throughout my journey of struggling with mental health when I lost my brother. I was, had suicidal thoughts, seeking revenge on the person that was responsible for my brother's murder. But then I found Christ in my life, and then I gave my life to Christ, and things changed. I gave up alcohol. I just gave up toxic people who was influencing me to do these negative things and have these negative thoughts. And my life changed in so many ways. And I started just doing more. A lot of positive changes started happening. Positive people, mentors in my life. I gained a lot of great relationships with organizations and collaborating with other people. And God has been doing a lot of wonderful things. And I took my model and curriculum, and now I'm planting seeds in other cities to streamline this event that I do called Shoot for Change. So now I'm doing it in Florida. My next stop will be in Charlotte, and I want to do something big in Atlanta. So the whole Shoot for Change is doing a celebrity basketball game to bring people to the forefront to do to do a good game, but also entertain the crowd and also talk about these issues with the messages on our shirts, right? And then it'll be a weekend thing, and then do a brunch panel discussion highlighting mental health and gun violence, because we know mental health is the issue to our gun violence problem in our community. And I have a partnership with one of my buddies, John Wallace, who's a former Knick player. His One of his good friends, who's a multimillionaire, they have this mental health app that organizations and corporations and schools could adopt that can provide 24 access to a mental health resource. So
Mm.
like so many different resources I have that I want to be able to bring to other cities to bring new resources and collaborate with people who doing the work on the ground, and to make sure these issues are covered, and we fill in these gaps by partnering with each other and making sure that nobody voice is unheard, and make sure our kids are invested in. And I know I said probably a lot, but I just
Not
try to get so much in. But one of
No,
my
that was
questions to ask to you:
great.
how do you build business credit? I'm struggling with that because I have a nonprofit. I have two LLCs. Well, I have three LLCs. I have an entertainment company I just started. I have the clothing brand, and also have a basketball company that I do personally, where I do private trainings and clinics and camps.
Credit building is based off of two different ways. Either one, you can fix your personal credit, and well, it's like three ways. One, you can fix your personal credit, and you can personally guarantee business loans, business credit cards, lines of credit, things like that. Um, the second way is you can always do through getting trade lines, um, net 30s, gas cards. Um, yeah, and then the third way is through banking. So that's like making deposits inside of your business bank account for about 3 to 6 months. And I would say make about $10,000 or more worth of deposits, no matter how you got to do what you got to do. I'm an affiliate marketer. Most of all, I make well over about 70%. I'll say about 60% now of my income from being an affiliate or brand ambassador or whatever they want to call it nowadays. Um, so a lot of that income goes into my business bank account, and I always tell companies, no matter what you do, no matter who you know, if you have affiliate marketing, if you're selling things, make affiliate links and have that money go into that account. I don't care what it is for. Get as much as
So
you can money put in one account, and then for 3 months, and then use that to get capital.
so basically, so my nonprofit, right? I've gained throughout the years well over 50,000, right? And like just grants, depositing, and my also and my I have the business account for also way over $20,000 worth of deposits. So I can go to my banker, and say, "Hey, I need to open up a business credit line. Like I've been with you guys for several years now. I've made way over $10,000 worth of deposits. It shouldn't be hard for me to
Is
get
that a
a business
month?
credit line."
Is that a
Huh?
month?
Say it again.
That's every month, right?
Well, it's not every month. Not my nonprofit, yes. Well, my nonprofit is more like 5,000 a month, a little less. But my business account, my clothing brand, not really. But throughout the months, yes. You know,
So yeah,
we've
a lot
I
of times
deposit.
for the ones with no credit, when they're not going off of credit, you're gonna have to make like a little more than you're gonna have to make about 10,000. Like some may let you go on 75. If you've had an average. But the ones that I've worked with over the last few years, I know they're looking for at least $10,000 a month in deposits, consecutively, and having your business plan, forecast, and things like that in order for them to qualify you. But they don't go off your credit, and then you always
Gotcha.
can leverage real estate. There's so many ways to build up cash flow or get the funding that you need. It's just based off of the time that you have, the budget that you have, and how dedicated you are to what you got to do. Um, Getting business loans is also a factor of making sure that you have the right address, that you have the right business emails, phone number, um, online presence, credibility. There's a lot that goes into that as well. But again, it can be done in no time. It's just based off of what what you're willing to put into it or what route you're wanting to go.
Gotcha.
So
So
like,
I
would
know
it
one
be
thing you
faster
said.
to fix your credit, or would it be faster for you to get $10,000 for the next 3 months?
Hmm, one of the things you said about him getting with like gas card, um, other type of cars like Home Depot cars. Remember you were
Man,
telling me
I
that
need
like
a car. The way I be spending money on gas. Oh
yeah, but
Lord,
you
I need
actually
gas.
get that. Yeah, you get that from them because I know what you were telling me that like with your business though, using that to actually obtain it, like getting a card from them, but registering that card with your business. So like, say you go to Home Depot,
Yeah,
register with
but
them because
those are
they
like tier
do.
3 and tier 4. So
Yeah.
again, in order to get into those types of cars, Home Depot, like you can get gas cards. Gas cards are the easiest cars to get. BP, but a lot of times they going off your credit, or they going off of your payment histories, or your income histories or something like that. But they're still super easy to get. They don't need you to make like 10. They don't need you to make that. They're just like, hey, we'll take a chance on you. Um, but that also puts you in a position to where you will need to make sure that you stay on top of paying that and doing what you need to do, because
Yeah.
it is going to affect you differently. It either can go up or it can go down for you. So that we don't. Again, that's how you got to think about it. You got to understand when you thinking and your goal. Like, do I want to take this risk of getting this gas card and utilizing it, and will I be able to pay it for real, after I use it? Because in 2 months or 3 months, I could probably up this limit, or I could get another gas card, but it's helping me build my credit. But if you don't and you're not, it might not be a good idea for you to get the gas card. It might be a good idea for you to just start working on purchasing trade lines so that they can increase your history and increase your credit limits,
Mhm.
so that you can be in a position to qualify. There's just so many different options. So it's always based on your why, your goals, your timeline, and your budget.
Gotcha. Okay. All
Mm.
right. Well, I mean, I appreciate the advice and the gems you shared. I definitely offline. I would love to talk to y'all to see how we could put together an event in
Hmm.
Atlanta to really, you know, shed light on. Because as we know, Atlanta, the gun violence in Atlanta is out of control.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually doing a gun violence. I'll be at that gun violence thing with Young Dro tomorrow. They're having one for the community, and I partner with a few people that do gun violence awareness,
Well,
and they
one of
do
the guys
basketball
I've been
tournaments and things like that to raise
Yeah,
money for.
let's try to get something going. One of
Okay.
the guys I was trying to get in touch with, but when you dealing with these people in the entertainment world, it's like gatekeepers. His brother was murdered. I can't think, but they do a lot of the big concerts in Atlanta. His brother was killed by somebody that I knew from out here, which is weird. But I
Mm.
know some of the people. Who I'm talking. Can't think of his name, but his brother was murdered in front of the club last year.
I think I know exactly what you're talking about. I just
Well,
can't remember the
his
name
brother,
either.
they well known brothers.
Yeah,
They do like
yeah,
they got all
I,
the clubs and all that.
Oh yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yes,
I don't know
I was
why
trying
my
to get with
mind had
him.
froze.
Yeah, I was trying to get with him to see if I can partner with him to to show him what I've been doing to honor my brother. And I know that if I could show him what I did to keep his brother name legacy alive, I think I want. But some of the gatekeepers is afraid to bring it to his attention. I'm like, dogs, there's something positive. You know what I'm saying?
See,
Like,
this the thing. When one thing I noticed about Atlanta is there's only gatekeeping in one community that matters. That I mean, it doesn't matter. That entertainment industry is super gatekeeping. It really
I
is.
know
But our goals and our mission is the community. So in reality, the
exactly.
only thing that we have to focus on, and there's no gates around here. The only gate we have around here is what we put up between us walking up to these young people that's standing at the gas station, that's
that's
sitting at the
facts.
parks. Like we can't even worry about who's not gonna allow us to come through the door because once we put an impact on this community, they're gonna be begging us to come to the gates. They're gonna be trying to burn the gates down, wishing that we came through the door, and we not
That's
there.
true.
They got to come
So,
through our
yo, this
gates.
is this is the reason for this. On 1 second though, make sure y'all hit that like button on the way, and make sure you tune in, subscribe, make sure you share, make sure you do all that. Right. This is what we gonna be doing though. Like every Tuesday night. You know what I'm saying? Like building. It's like the which is called the real welfare check, unity and motion. So we actually like just pulling us together, checking on us. You know what I'm saying? Making sure that we not only are right mentally, but financially, emotionally, and all that stuff as well. And actually coming up with solutions to actually build and move forward. Also, those people that's tapping in, as far as those that's in the chat, if they need assistance or help with anything, you know what I'm saying? If we can do it, we actually, actually looking to actually help, whether it's providing a resource, leading them in the right direction, whatever, but really, really, really using this platform now to be a bridge. You know what I'm saying? And just like she was saying, those that people say is gatekeeping or is doing what they're doing, all right, let them do that. You know what I'm saying? Let them do that because we're going to build and create our own. I mean, we're going to link up and do what we do. Until they turn around, they're going to be actually begging us, yo, we need y'all to come through. Yo, come on, please, please. And you already know that's the
Facts. I'm
time.
like,
That's what
oh,
happens.
can you bring the kids? Can you bring the like we have so many different youth programs, like even like the by the block back where we're taking the homeless, we're taking the young, we're taking the people that are struggling, and we're showing them how to buy properties for little of nothing by using their credit, by coming together, by doing fundraisers, by literally getting the skill sets and then being able to be placed in the homes and helping. Just it's so many programs that we're doing right now. All we have to do now is just continue to come together, continue to cross promote, continue to get everyone that has a business or has a nonprofit in the position to be qualified for funding so that you can get whatever you need. And I'm not just talking about credit, grants, contracts, sponsorships, super donations. Like I realized when I got my when I got the position and I got on this nonprofit board, I would say just maybe a month ago today, I've been able to walk in the stores and say, "Hey, I would like for you to know if you can give me a donation for this, that, and the other, and blah blah blah." And they're so happy to do it. They're so happy
Mm.
to do it.
So I'm glad you said that because here I put this up. I said the issues a lot of counties and towns let the community know the help they provide or contacts they have, right? But the thing is, if you know that, you gotta go to them. You gotta be proactive, bro. You have to be. I mean, because you're not gonna find out anything just sitting and complaining and saying what they're not doing or what they think. You gotta go there.
Yeah,
You gotta
And
go
true.
then
there.
you have to go
Like
with an
you said,
open mind.
Monday. Like, go ahead.
No, no, go ahead. Okay.
Oh, just to go because you hit it right on the head, and you have to go there with an open mind as well.
Yeah.
Actually knowing the game that's being played. If you know it, then you know how to actually approach it. And this is the whole purpose. Just the whole purpose for this, because a lot of times we'll get into a situation and not really know how to handle it, or we get blocked, right, by our own particular emotions or our own perception or view of a thing, right? And it's like, nigga, we'll block a blessing that way. I mean, it might
That's
be meant
true.
for you to go in there. So now just, all right, hold on. Let me listen. Let me listen to what this person is saying. I know this
Right.
already, but let me just listen. Okay, all right. How can I get around that? Because a lot of times we underestimate our own power and our own potential. Right? We thinking that we can't get into these doors, or we can't get this type of funding, or we can't make this happen. And this is why you have, like, why I brought Queen of Money Magnet here, why Wilma Joseph is here, like, to actually show you, like, people that are actually doing it, to actually go out, create, come from nothing to actually go to actually do it. So you can. You just have to be proactive. You have to be willing to put that work in. Have to.
Yeah, I definitely agree 100%. Like, and just to piggyback a little bit on the going in there with an open mind. I've been going to these commissioner meetings for months, y'all. I've been watching the replays in different counties, different places, and I'm listening. I'm listening from different sides. I'm listening from the resident side. I'm listening to it from the business side. I'm listening to it from the commissioner side, and I'm hearing them say deny, 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 deny. No, we don't want this. No, we don't want that, because they're saying we want small businesses, we want minority businesses, we want these people to come out here, but then nobody's going to get it. And then when they get intimidated when they see the paperwork, they like, oh, that's a lot of paperwork. Oh, they all of my business. Well, if somebody asks you for $10 million today, if you had it, just put it in your mind. Like, if I had $10 million and I could give it away, and somebody was like, hey, I got an idea. Can you give me $10 million? You're not gonna want to know every single thing about this person.
Hell yeah.
So how are we mad? How are we? How are we slacking? It's accountability. We don't want to hold ourselves accountable, and then we'll spend the money over and over and over for the services. You could have went and got the service and got somebody to do the paperwork for you or handle your business for you, but we be out here chasing the bag. When you chasing the bag, it's running. You shouldn't have to chase nothing. You should be attracting everything you need. You should be in the right position, in the right rooms, having the right conversations with the right people.
Mm,
And it should just fall into your lap. But you
mm,
got to be ready when it fall in your lap, or you're going to fumble. Somebody else going to pick the ball up, and they going to touch down. And you still going to be doing the same thing over and over. You're going to be stuck in the same position, catching the ball but dropping it, catching the ball but dropping it. Because you won't hold yourself accountable and look at things with a different perception. If you're going to be a business owner, you're going to be a nonprofit owner, you got to look at it on that side too.
Yeah.
Business is business. Yeah, we want to help the community. Yeah, we want to do these programs, but we cannot help the community if we ain't in order.
mm.
I don't want nobody who fumbling the ball to tell me what to do or be the person that's leading me. Because what if you lead me down the wrong path that I'm not able to get out of for a while, but you can get up out of there? We don't need that. So we got to hold ourselves accountable. We got to get the help that we need, and that's for everything. We got to get the real welfare check. We got to get our mind right. That's the real welfare check.
Mm.
You're not
That's
gonna get
true.
no bag until you get your mind right. And I'm not saying y'all. I'm just saying like
Yeah,
that's
she's saying
that's just
y'all.
my
You
message.
keep it real. She's saying y'all. Y'all. Guys, let's tune in. They do no. Do you know what they do when it be something juicy or talking about something else that happened in somebody's life, or some past stuff, whatever? Like, oh yeah, yeah, this popping. They'll have 1,000. They'll call all type of people and share it, tell
Exactly.
everybody. But when it's something intriguing that they can actually learn from, right? Something they can actually change their lives with, something they can actually help their families with, it's like dudes get scared of it. Dudes don't want to. Like, I seen one guy like, oh man, nah, man, they ain't really they just talking, man. I'm a like. What do you actually want? Because sometimes you have free game, and a lot of times people don't know what to do with it.
Hmm.
Don't know what to do with it. You know,
And that brings me back to the first part of starting a business is getting your mindset right. Everybody missed that first step. You find a guru online that be really guruing. The first thing they do is say, "Oh, make sure you go get a business account. Make sure you get your LLC. Make sure you get your EIN." Don't nobody say, "Make sure you go get some therapy. Make sure you go get a mentor.
Your
Make sure
mentor.
you get a
Yeah.
financial advisor. Make sure you go get a friend that's gonna be up at 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning when you have a random idea and no one's there to talk to, but you can at least
Mm,
call them. Go get you a group, a family. Go get a community of people who are already winning, who's gonna keep you inspired. Because if you keep sitting around the people who you trying to do this for, you're never gonna be able to do it for them because they're never
yep.
gonna believe in you enough. They're never gonna inspire you enough. They're not gonna do it because you gotta fix them. How you expect them to support you and you gotta fix them?
Mm, mm, mm,
I don't hang with people who are less than me, and I don't mean that in a financial way. I mean in a mindset type of way. Like if I walk in a room and you gossiping, I gotta go.
mm,
If I walk in a room, you talking about building, you talking about networking, you talking about what your kids have done, you talking about futuristic things, you any of that, I'm there.
it's crazy because no, I was just actually thinking about that because somebody had put something in there. Facts, KK. He said facts, KK. He said alive and be packed if this was gangs, right? We were talking about gang stuff,
exactly.
and
Man, listen.
it's crazy because being around the right people and what we started this live with, the main thing was just checking on individuals, right? And the other part was perception. So helping you mentally, help physically, help you financially, right? So the thing is perception. So a lot of times we feel the person that has a negative reputation, right, or is known, if a lot of time you'll be around them because they name kind of like something. But even if they're not doing nothing though, they, they they're not doing anything, right? And a person that's boring or it's really,
Well, see, one thing
they
about
work
it is
about their
you
work,
got it.
you try to
Hey,
avoid and not be around, or the person that's being, like you see, an accountability partner, right? This is why I'm starting to feel like accountability partners is real. Somebody that's going to check you on your nonsense, right? Somebody that's going to make sure you holding yourself accountable because they're going to let you know. I mean, like just creating good habits because you would call me, just an example. Did you do that? Why that ain't done yet? What you
I
doing, gang?
sure will.
Yeah, but individuals need that, and we look to people that we just comfortable and chill with, because they're not really challenging your mental status. They're not really challenging your work ethic. So it's like, all right, we cool, we can hang around, we can just chill because they're not really challenging anything. But these are the type of people you do need to be around. Somebody that is going to challenge your work ethic. Somebody that is going to challenge you being accountable for yourself. Somebody that is going to challenge your progression, making sure you moving forward. Because if we saying that, bro, all right, we moving forward. So what we doing? Get a
Yeah.
call, yo, bro, what we doing? What you said we was doing this? What happened? You know, like I just did this week, just so you know, just a week. I already marked down on the paper what I need to be done, what need to be done this week, right? And two things is already done, and it made me feel better inside, you know. And just to share with those in the chat, it's the same thing y'all need to do. I mean, start holding yourselves accountable, bro. Seriously, look at the people around you. All right, look at where you're trying to go. I mean, and just be aware of the signs, man. Oh, hold up. What somebody put up there? You can't buy a house with street peddler. It's no good. They don't accept it.
Nah, that's facts. But see,
That
one
is
thing
a
about it is, we got to roll it back to
That's facts.
perception. We got to
that
roll
is
it back to perception because we got to understand that everybody's not going to receive the message the way that we want them to receive the message, and in the timing that they're going to see the message. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know y'all be having a whole lot of people on there. You know what I'm saying? But y'all be lit, and it's more relatable when I'm at the store, hanging out with the dudes and the young kids and showing them. Our conversations don't start off like this. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? They don't start off where we were. I'm like preaching,
Yeah, you gotta
or
lure, you gotta
it's on cool.
lure them in.
I'm chilling with them. I'm smoking with them.
Yeah,
I'm drinking with them.
yeah,
I'm telling them. Then I might turn around and ask like, hey, bro, what you want to do when you grow up? Hey, you ever been to da da da? It's the art of sales as well. Books that
yeah,
I've read have helped me with so many different things. With learning how to connect and communicate with different people on different levels. I got kids that's in elementary school, middle school, high school. I got a little brother in college, all the way up, all the way up. And I've just had to learn how to deal with people in different states, different ages, molest victims, people that didn't kill people, people that didn't have people killed. So you got to learn how to speak their language
yeah.
for them.
You absolutely right. And not to get religious or anything, but that's something that's in all the books, right? When God speaks, He sends a person. He makes sure He talks about sending a person speaking the language of the people. You got to know the language of the people, because if you don't know the language of the people, they ain't gonna be. They gonna look at you like you speaking something. You a foreigner.
Yeah,
You know?
foreigner.
Yeah, you a foreigner in their land.
Or you an intruder.
Yeah, or an intruder. Or I'm saying, agent, you an agent provocateur. Like, who is this person? Like, nah, but it's crazy because those that's in here now, those that's in the chat now. For one, appreciate y'all, man. Two, a lot of them understand. Like I'm a person that actually went through it, and I went in prison. I was a child, right? I had no idea about no building credit, uh, uh leveraging business, and dealing just the whole business world, paying bills. Like
Man,
no idea. Hustling,
man,
getting money. Here, you just take that. We good? All right. Only thing I knew was just good business. You know what I'm saying? Just do good business. Be respectful. Have integrity. You know what I mean? Have some honor. Don't do no slick, slimy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Don't be greedy. So just those particular, aspects of character that was there. But now translating into business, what I've come to learn is that the characteristics is the real wealth, right? A person handling business correctly, a person being respectful, having honor, having integrity, that translates into that. So now when you utilize that in the correct way, sky's the limit. All type of doors start opening up, and
man.
then you be in a position where you can effectuate change. Mm.
Yeah. Well, I definitely appreciate y'all for having this tonight again. The real welfare check, unity in motion, how we're coming together, bridging the gaps. We not really not coming to play this year. I'm
Nah,
just telling y'all right now.
it's crazy. This is another link up, and the only reason I haven't behind at you, Joe, man, there's just so many things I've been working on, and I like to be correct. You know what I'm saying? Like I really, really like to be right and have things in order when I do. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Yeah,
listen, everything happens on God's time, man.
yeah,
Listen, it's gonna come together like we said in the beginning when we first met, bro. Look when we first met, where you at now. That's
uh,
all growth, and I use this in basketball terms. I'm a basketball player, just like in training. When you pick up that basketball, you ain't gonna be the best at. You gotta go through training, the bumps and bruises to get where you at, and that's what people don't understand. They want everything, uh, so instant gratification. That's the world we're living in. You got to wait your time, and you got to put in the work, and you got to be consistent, and you got to research and learn. People don't want to learn; they just want it. Like you said earlier, how I'm gonna give you $10 million if you don't know how to run a business? You can't even run a $10,000 operation. I'm gonna give you $10 million. So people don't
Exactly.
they don't understand that. Do
well,
your
People
research,
think
learn,
money
get a
is
mentor.
people think they can get some money and that's just gonna solve their problems. Not understanding, man. You get that money, you ain't gonna even know what to do with it.
Exactly. So we got to learn, man, and we got to learn from each other. We got to keep providing resources and just keep willing to learn. And we got to surround ourselves around people who are smarter than us. I don't want to be in a room of everybody's. If I'm the smartest person in the room, I'm in the wrong room.
Yeah,
Uh,
for
listen,
sure.
you are tuned in to We Locked In, man. We got Will and Joseph in the building, represent CT.
Stanford, Connecticut, Stanford
Yeah,
CT in the house.
That's right. I done met 3 people from Connecticut this week.
yeah, we got Connecticut, we got Atlanta to build it. You be like and this is how we actually connect, man. I told you every Tuesday, man, the real welfare check, unity and motion. This is what we're doing. I mean, so if you building, you're trying to build, you want to link up, I mean, you want to expand whatever it is that you're doing, tap in, man. Oh,
Yeah.
tap in.
Yeah, have a
Mm.
Yeah.
blessed one, y'all. But it was wonderful. Yo, King, we going to talk offline so we can really chop it up. And Queen, I definitely want to chop it up with you. Let's
Oh, okay. Well,
Oh, there you go.
all
Yeah.
right.
there
Yeah,
we go.
yes,
All
sir.
right. Well,
Yes, sir.
appreciate you.
Appreciate you,
Y'all
bro.
make sure y'all follow me. Connect with Queen on all platforms. Connectwithqueen.com. Each and every week we gonna be here doing this real welfare check. Like we want to really talk about it and get more people involved so that we can find these
Yeah,
alternative
this
ways
we
to
get to
deal
the
with what we
bottom of
want.
this, man. Let's do it for real because we saying we want it. We about it. We saying yo, let's get together. We saying let's do it. Then let's do it. Then
All right.
ain't no reason these numbers should be up. Let's do it then. I mean, bring y'all the people here, get y'all the information that y'all actually need. As long as y'all seeing it, y'all interacting, y'all responding, y'all sending y'all questions, whatever in there, and we gonna build continuously, bro. All right. Peace, everybody. That's everybody behind the wall, man. Free the bros. Somebody asked a question about Blue Boy. Blue Boy, good. He good, man. No, unfortunately, our brother still, you know, caught up in just certain things in that lifestyle, man. And he admitted it, messing with them young boys, but he good though, man. He got into a little scuffle in there, but that happens. And this is one of the things that we was worried about it with him because he just got his freedom. So to go back in there in that particular system, man, like I'm not surprised, but know he gonna go through it, man. I just hope, just hope he just continue to progress and continue to improve. Mm. Shout out to the chat. Love y'all, man. Y'all have a good night. I ain't Queen of Money Nizzle. Thank you.
Thank you. Love y'all.
Yeah, y'all tuning in. We locked in, man. Quick little episode for y'all. And don't forget to tune in every Tuesday. We doing this, man. Every Tuesday we doing this, man. Other friend, you trying to learn about business, you trying to learn how to be building nonprofits, how to get out of the situation you in, how to connect, how to unify. This is what we doing, man. Oh yeah, we out, man. We locked in.